Okay, everybody. It is me, and I'm here, and I'm doing things, and the things I'm doing is giving you another tarot reading. Because that's what I do, it's my job, it's been my job for the past 15 years, professional online tarot reader. Over 15 years now. I did my first ever psychic fair when I was just a 19-year-old kid and didn't know nothing. By comparison with now, of course. I mean, that's a long time ago now. Crikey. I'm so old. Yes, I'm so old. But I'm still here, and that's also important, and you're still here too. Cards are being shuffled very thoroughly indeed, within reason. And let's hope we don't carry on getting the same cards out each time, as we've been doing for a while. I mean, I'm doing this like no rehearsal, no nothing. You know, what you see is what you get, and that's that. Right. Ooh. Complex. Conflict of tensions. Your final card in your 3-card reading is the reversed lust card, a bit like the lover's card. It's not quite all necessarily as sexy as you might think, because it's got this complexity associated with addiction or being too heavily obsessed with something, especially when it's reversed and the sense of desire is turned around. It's also supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be a Babylon symbol in this particular card, in this particular deck, suggesting vices, suggesting selfishness, greed, envy, a lot of negative emotions associated with what it is that's going on with you as a person. So you've got to be aware that that's there, and you don't have to act upon it. But be introspective, think about your thoughts and your feelings, think about how your thoughts and your feelings affect your behavior, think about how your behavior affects how other people see you, and then think whether it was important or useful to have that behavior, thoughts, feelings and emotions in place in the first place. And if you're struggling with something, you can't just turn around and say, well, that's what I am, I'm like that. Okay? Because it's not a good enough excuse. And I think that card is reminding me to remind you to think about all the forces going on inside you so that you can stop acting upon them and start doing something different and better. I've mentioned mindfulness in the previous video. It's very useful. You can go onto your mobile phone and download some mindfulness recordings and mindfulness apps, some of which are completely free, and that provides you with another way of getting the mind balanced really rather good. Right, now, this one here, it's labelled as Valor, and Valor means basically having the bragging rights after you've succeeded in achieving something pretty amazing. You got a bit of swagger around you. You're feeling awesome, alright? And of course you got the Mars sign in the corner suggesting that's to do with action, willpower, I'm the one who's done it, I'm amazing, my will against the universe. But that might be true, that might be useful, that might be beneficial, but in what ways are you being a bad person? I'm not a bad person, you're thinking. No, you're not. You're not a bad, but none of us are bad people. But we can have things going wrong with us at times. I don't know whether you ever used to be a fan of the Spider-Man movies, but all of the bad characters in that weren't bad people. Lots of them had great intention to do good. But then something went wrong and they themselves became damaged people. And I haven't yet met anyone in the world who's not a damaged person, in some respects or other. So there's something else to be aware of. Where is your damage? Where is your difficulties? Where are your problems? And what can you do to try and remedy that so that good things can happen? You want your valor, you want your victory. But is having the bragging rights necessarily the most important thing? Is there something clouding your mind and making it so that there's, even in you, right, one of the nicest people on the face of the planet, something could be going wrong, making you a bit cruel or a bit cold or a bit sadistic? And if so, what is that? What do you need to work on there? Alright? It won't be the whole of you. It'll be a tiny little corner of your mind which will basically have the problems and be causing you difficulties. Just something else to think about. Remember, tarot is about thinking, so well, one of the things it's about is thinking so that you can be a more balanced, more well-rounded person. And getting there is fine. I mean, I was on a dating site once and I met this girl and she, oh God almighty, it was terrible. Because she hadn't worked on herself. She was so full of anger and bitterness and resentfulness for all the bad things that happened to her. She couldn't think her way out of it. I said, work on it. Get yourself some therapy. Get yourself some counseling. Do things. Do yourself some mindfulness. Because these are things which normal, well-adjusted people do so they can be normal and well-adjusted. Okay, so that's my little talk with you today. That's what the tarot was saying today. Could be relevant to you, might not be. I don't know. Stay subscribed, more content coming out. Halloween is going to be a blast this year because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. We've just had May Day, I know, very recently. But I'm looking forward to the most wonderful time of the year, let's say. Okay, you know what I mean. Yeah, time to party. And I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Keep cool. God bless.